friends, we back with another video on JasonBlaha, strength and fitness. Again, man, the lifting slave, bro. Fitness, gym slave, you know who. Diet slave, vegan slave, whatever. All right, he's talking about food again today. Let's review this video. So JasonBlaha says processed food is not a catch-all term for unhealthy. I don't know, unhealthy? Well, when it comes to animal products, if you process it, you could cook it and it'd be processed. Does that mean it's unhealthy? I mean, it could have some unhealthy benefits, maybe carcinogenic, I'm not sure. It's no longer in its natural state. Let's just put it that way. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Calling foods processed foods is really kind of a cop-out and basically just an excuse to be ignorant when it comes to nutrition. And the reason I say that is because the majority of the foods that we eat are processed. And when people use that term, they will be hypocritical.
Processed just means something has been changed. It's been altered. It's not in its natural state anymore. Now, some processed foods are unhealthy. Plant foods are unhealthy for humans, okay? Let's just put it that way. They still have their toxins and oxalates and stuff in them. Even if you process sugar, you'll still find oxalates in processed sugar, okay? Now, when it comes to animal products, which are a lot healthier for humans, that's our natural diet. When you alter it, for example, by cooking it, it's no longer in its natural state. You've done something to it, so you could call that processed. Is it unhealthy for you now? Animal products, which are your natural products, they become unhealthy because you cooked them now. See what I mean? Did they become unhealthy? When you boiled your eggs or fried them, or whatever it is you're doing there, are they now unhealthy in some way? Do they have benefits but are unhealthy in another way because you cooked it, you did something to it? I don't know that for sure. You need to look it up and find out. Yeah, I hear, you know, when they say meat, they say it's carcinogenic now because on the top it's been, you know, barbecued or whatever or something. It's been altered. That's why a lot of people, they go natural. They go natural. You get these crazy vegans, they go natural because they think, well, if I go natural, that's going to be better for me. But in fact, when it comes to plants, the processing of plants, it reduces the amount of poisons that are in there. You understand me? Because they killed it. Somewhat of it, not all of it. You'll still find stuff in there. It may have been reduced cooking it or doing something to these plants which are filled with poisons. Now the poison has been reduced. Okay, is it still poisonous? Yes, it's just been reduced. I mean, the way Coach talks about these things, it's going to be always backward.
With it, meaning they will demonize one food for being processed while eating another food that is just as heavily processed and claiming that it's...
Think about it. What's pasta made from? Wheat. It's not natural. I mean, for human consumption, it's not our natural food. It's not our natural food which we consume. We consume animal products. That's what keeps us healthy. But okay, so you consume this wheat. What's it made out of? Pasta. Wheat and water. Okay. Can you absorb any nutrients in there? Are you absorbing the poisons and the toxins? Are they anti-nutrient? Something you have to ponder, man. How about the tofu that Coach eats? He eats pasta, tofu. He eats a bunch of chemical foods. Look at his body. Remember, what you eat, you become that which you eat. You understand me? Yeah, that's why he's diminished and falling apart. He looks terrible because of what he's eating. And he eats a slave diet. And he thinks everybody else eats a slave diet. If you had money, you're not going to eat slave diets. You're going to eat as natural as possible as you can to be healthy and strong.
It's not processed, okay? And even when we're talking about whole foods can still be processed to some degree.
What are whole foods? He keeps talking about whole foods. He thinks that animal feed is for human consumption. You're not eating for health. You're eating for taste and for marketing and business purposes. And they are recruiting eating slaves. You are eating slaves. That's how they make their money out there. These people, they just recruit you with taste, tasty foods. The more tasty, the more you'll eat it, and it becomes an addiction at some point. Now, You don't want to eat healthy anymore. You want to eat unnatural food and become unhealthy, like Coach.
And I'm going to give you guys an example and explain what I mean by when we say, minimally processed, we're talking about foods that have retained good nutritional value.
No. These are very artificial. They've been altered in some way. They've been altered, these foods, and they're not even our natural foods. He's trying to convince you in this video. This is so crazy. He's trying to convince you that this food is for human consumption. Oh, hey man, this it's processed food, but it's processed food, and not all, it's not a catch-all term for all unhealthy. It's not totally unhealthy. And if there was poisons in there, well, they've processed it now, so the poisons have been reduced. So you're not being so much poisoned. You know what I mean? You're just being a little bit poisoned, guy. You're not gonna die right away, but you'll die eventually down the road. Maybe decrepit, some neurodegenerative diseases like our coach here. He's got these things in his ears. I don't know what that is. He's got ear infections and this and that and problems and eyesight problems, hair problems, skin problems, hair disease, this, that, fucking neurological diseases. Who knows what else?
Or they haven't had a lot of things added to them.
I bet you Coach doesn't even have testicles. They've shrunk down to nothing because of the steroid use.
That are detrimental to your health, okay? And that's what we're talking about. And realistic.
No wonder why he's on TRT. You injecting yourself with TRT, remember, they're made from plants. They're toxic. Even the TRT is toxic. All steroids are toxic. You keep injecting yourself with toxins. You like, again, you may live to a particular degree because there's other things in this world that are making you live, I guess, whatever. I can't say for sure. Cleaner water, this, that, who knows what. But some things that you're getting, I'm not really particularly sure. But you injecting yourself with toxins will shorten your lifespan. You'll die early. And you'll look really bad.
Most of the things that people are concerned about being really detrimental to your health aren't in the foods that you're even calling processed. If you're eating a food with 27 ingredients, yes. But a lot of times people are saying, this process got calcium chloride added to it. Calcium citrators or things like that. That's calcium. If you're going and taking a calcium supplement from the store, you're literally taking that substance. And oftentimes that's a preservative, and it's not a preservative linked to health problems. Okay, that's a perfect example.
Man, preservatives, this, that, they're chemicals, bro. They've been altered. They're making chemicals, putting things, the state of it has been altered. It can't be healthy for a human body. That's what they're trying to say. It's in its unnatural state. So it's not natural. Something not natural can't be healthy for you. That's why we're so unhealthy as a population, because everything we're doing is very unhealthy.
All right. People worry about the wrong things. Whereas what they should be worried about, they don't need to worry about trans fats anymore, because all the trans fats that are added to...
Listen, why worry about all these poor, unless you're like him, you're I don't know, you're poor, you're a slave, and so you have to eat the slave diet, slave food. You can't afford real food because you don't have any money. Then, of course you're going to sacrifice your health. But, that's what makes money. Health makes money. The healthier you are, the stronger you are, the more you can keep making money. You can't make money if you're unhealthy and sick all the time, right? That's the whole point. Money makes money with health, bro. So you have to focus on your health. You got to at least try to be as healthy as possible, eat as healthy as natural, and natural as healthy as possible.
Food or man-made are now illegal in the United States. Now, before people chime in about their own countries, I can't make videos for the entire world. I can't research 57 countries and tell you the laws for them and discuss that in every video. I can't. I can tell you in the United States it is now illegal. All the trans fats that you eat now in the U.S. are coming from natural sources, and it's pretty much from your meat and dairy. High-fat animal products are...
There you go. He just said coming from your natural sources, meat and dairy.
Literally the only source of trans fat you're going to be able to legally eat in America now. And that's...
So what are unnatural sources? What are unnatural sources to humans? Plants. Plants are unnatural, yes.
Significant source, particularly because we fatten up our animals, right? We fatten up our livestock before we eat them. Okay, and that is not any sort of extremist statement. I am simply telling you.
We fatten up our livestock before we eat them. Well, that's, yeah, because now it's business too. But they do eat grass. man. It's costly. They eat grass out there, okay?
The biological and legal facts. What you choose to do with that is your own business, but those are the facts. It is illegal to add trans fats to food, therefore all of it's occurring in foods that are relatively whole, and they're exacerbated by the way we raise those animals. All right. Now, that being said, but grass-fed doesn't eliminate it. People will say, why you eat grass-fed butter? Yeah, that's loaded full of trans fat. Sorry, it just is.
Yeah, so it's loaded full of trans fats. Butter is so bad for you. It's made out of dairy products. It too is processed, but it has vitamin D and other trace minerals in there. Yeah, man. I don't know. Is butter bad for you? It's great for people use it for cooking fish and beef. Why would you cook your beef and your fish in seed oils? It's not made from animal products. That's why it tastes so much better in butter. The taste is even better. But anyways, each to their own, man. I don't know.
Don't take my word for it. Go research it yourself. Look up the data.
Look, I've researched enough, and I've decided to do what's best for me. And I suggest everybody do what is best for them. Research and find out what's best for you. But if what you're eating is killing you, it's time to stop and ponder that and figure it out. Yeah, that's doing something wrong there. Like Coach here, eating that stuff is diminishing the shit out of him, but he hasn't learned his lesson yet. See, I did an experiment with fruits and maybe some vegetables, but with a lot of fruits. And I wanted to see if this shit would make me healthy. It made me very unhealthy. That's what I discovered. And I stopped doing that right away. But Coach is continuing on a path of destruction. See that? He's continuing in that destruction, thinking that he'll get a different outcome. And guess what the outcome will be? Exactly the same. Diminished. Coach looking diminished and messed up, okay? And sarcopenia'd. That's what's going to happen to him. All right?
All right, but that aside...
He can't stop the destruction. Heavy weights destroy your body and age you, but he can't stop the destruction. Eating tofu, pasta, and all these chemicals and hot dogs, whatever else he's eating there that's so nasty, is destroying him, but he can't stop doing that. You understand me? Because he's expecting a different outcome. He's hoping that eventually down the line, a different outcome will come out of this. Guys, I'm making a naked body. I'm doing aesthetic look, but he's not aesthetic. He's hoping by just keep lifting, eventually I'll get a different outcome. But the outcome is always the same. Shit. And then I'll eat these foods, maybe tofu, this, that. I think I'm eating healthier, but he keeps eating it and he gets the same outcome. Shit. You understand me? Hoping that a different outcome will come out of that. That is a diet slave, bro. I'm telling you, that's a lifting, gym, diet slave, vegan, whatever slave you want to call it. And that's what you get at the end. Nothing. Because you're just completely diminished. One guy wrote me on my channel. I'm pretty sure it was him. He was angry with me, saying, "You're not in your late 50s, man. You're not even 50." Yeah, he's thinking I'm younger than I'm 50. You understand me? Because he looked at me in my video posing that new video I popped up of myself, and he's like, "What the fuck, man? You're not in your late 50s. You're not even 50. Don't lie. Don't lie." He was so angry with me. I know it's Coach Blaha. He's angry with me because I don't do destructive stuff to myself, looking for a different outcome to keep destroying myself. The moment something destroys me, I stop it right away, and I go back to something that will give me a different outcome, that which would make me better. My whole focus is to get stronger. I'll explain this. My whole ambition right now, before it was to rehabilitate myself because I got some nerve damage, but it was to rehabilitate myself. That's why I went back to the gym more often, which was not good for me, but it kind of helped to kind of work this problem out a bit. But and even then you don't even know, right? And so you're looking for an outcome, but you're looking for a different outcome that would be positive. You don't want negative outcomes. If you're getting a negative outcome, you need to stop right away and do something else to get another outcome. Like Einstein said, it is madness to keep doing the same thing and getting the same outcome, a zero. Get it? It is madness.
Everything is processed. Cooking is a process. Right? But people will say, but cooking is good. Right.
Cooking is a process. it's a marketing ploy. They got you to cook because they sell you pots and pans and stuff and all that. And everything's based on taste.
Because not all
It isn't based on health. It is based on taste.
processing is bad. Do you see where I'm going with this, of why it's a silly statement to say that a food is processed?
No, he's trying to compare dairy products with processed food, these plant foods which are processed, and they are not the same. Plants are not animals, dude, and animals are not plants, dude. So yeah, it's unhealthy still. Plant foods that are processed are unhealthy. Don't compare with animals. Don't compare, bro. Don't compare.
Processed. Well, a lot of foods are safer for us to eat when processed. I mean, the same people who will talk about, oh, I'm scared of anti-nutrients in grains. If you just cook grains, that problem goes away. Quit eating your grains raw.
I already talked about grains, man. Grains are not good for you. They're toxic, okay? Stay away from them. They're contaminated.
Right? Problem solved. Process it. See?
Problem solved, process it. But what about nutrients? Here's the thing. Your coach is going to say, no, all of these things are unhealthy for you. Yet your cells just want nutrients. But all these foods, you process it, they're devoid of nutrients, and then they become they're anti-nutrient. And so again, your cells want nutrients, and you'll be overfed and undernourished. So you'll keep eating. Your body will keep forcing you to eat. It'll give you hunger signals to keep eating. You understand me? Until it gets the nutrients that it needs. And then you're overfed and undernourished. And that too accelerates aging, overfeeding like that.
Where we're going with this?
And the majority of foods that you're eating are energy foods. Tofu, energy food. Pasta, energy food. It's all energy foods. It's not nutrient foods. Meat, nutrients. Plant foods, energy. Carbohydrate, energy. Plants, look, plants are carbohydrates, energy. Now, animal foods, nutrients. What do bodies like? What do cells like? Nutrients. What do they dislike? Energy foods. There you go. Okay? So whatever the fuck he says, just do the reverse of everything.
Most foods are safer cooked. There are exceptions. Many foods improve the nutritional value. It's the reason I'm against the whole raw milk thing. It's insane.
It does not increase its nutritional value. How does something, if you cook it, increase its nutritional value? What an idiot. That's just crazy.
It is taking a
That is mentally retarded.
risk for no health benefit. There is no documented health benefit. And it's not big business.
It definitely shows the health benefits on his body. Look at his body, bro. He is 46. He just turned 47. I'm 46. And I'm 10 years older than him. And I'm pretty sure it was him who wrote me. He said, you're not in your late 50s. And then he's like, you're not even 50. I know. What age am I, Blaha? 30? 30, right? Yeah. You want to know why? Because I eat healthy. That's why. All my life I tried to eat as healthy as I could. I don't know what healthy was. I wasn't really totally sure, but yeah, plus I wasn't a gym slave or a lifting slave either, because that accelerates aging, bro. All these things you're doing accelerates aging.
The dairy industry wants to charge you more.
Your processed food is accelerating aging. Your lifting is accelerating aging even more. That's why you look like you're 80.
But they don't charge you more. That's the standard price, right? Because pasteurization costs them money. If they could get away with it, of course they would. If they could not be sued and we remove pasteurization, of course they'd love to remove it. Why? Because it costs them money to pasteurize it.
No, they're forced to do that by the government to pasteurize it. And then they fortify it, which is gross.
Right? So be realistic. Right? It saves lives to pasteurize it. You cook meat because, well, a lot of it's nutritionally more bioavailable for us, and to kill bacteria. With a lot of plants, cooking improves nutrient value. Okay? For many of them, it makes foods more, different processing makes foods more bioavailable.
Bacteria, we become so weakened because we built in a tolerance of immunity to these bacteria over millennia or whatever when we were eating things. But now we become in a weakened state because We're not exposed to these things anymore. That's why there's a rise in, like, what is it? Parasites now. People carrying parasites and a whole bunch of other things.
Right? The cow is processed heavily before you. It's called a meat processing plant. Then you cook it. That's processing. Most of our crops are selectively bred through agriculture. That's a heavy modification. We've created superfoods. Okay, so this whole idea that because something has been processed, that's not a bad thing. If the only thing that's been done is it's been milled a little bit and then pressed and, you know, some sort of safe preservative added, some sort of salt. Right, we're not talking some of the other crazy stuff with BPCs and things. You know, there are some concerns, absolutely. But really, what are the processes we don't want? What we don't want is a bunch of extra fat added and a bunch of extra refined sugar. So when we're really talking about processed foods, it's, so we've stripped nutritional value out and we've added a bunch of refined sugar, or we've added a bunch of fat. And I don't care whether that's vegetable oil or shortening or butter. You're adding a bunch of refined fats. Okay, that's not good processing. That's not desirable. Do you see where we're going with this? But just saying because something is processed is bad is silly, unless it is heavily stripped nutrients from it. But a perfect example, okay, butter has had tons of nutrients stripped out.
Again, plant foods are anti-nutrients. Processed or not, they're not good for you. Now, animal products, if you are processing them, whatever the hell you're doing, cooking them, you are reducing the nutrient value that's in it, for sure. They may still be some intact, but you're reducing a lot of it, so then you need to consume more. That's a big issue.
A lot of vegetable oils have had a bunch of nutrients stripped out. We've stripped out fiber. We've stripped out phytonutrients. Yes, they have lost nutritional value. Well, we obviously don't want that. That's not ideal. The same thing with butter. You've stripped all the protein and the calcium and the magnesium and all that good stuff out of it just to concentrate the saturated fat. Well, that's not good either, right? In that case, when we have stripped significant, enormous amounts of beneficial nutritional value, that...
Did you know that skin is a big indicator of age? Look at his skin. Look how it's drooping everywhere. That is a huge indicator of age. Your skin will definitely tell you how much you've aged, and you can see he's like in a body of an 80-year-old. The coach is in a body of an 80-year-old. This is an 80-year-old body walking down the street, an old man. This is an old man. Yeah, lifting these little weights. Yes.
It's not good processing. When we have added things that are problematic, such as extra refined fats, extra refined sugars, that's problematic. Okay? But processing in and of itself can oftentimes be a positive thing. So we need to know specifically what the process is. You don't just use it as a cop-out, because almost everything that you eat is processed. And if it's not processed, it's
what's the process, Coach?
Probably been selectively bred, even if you're eating it in the raw, whole form. Okay? And a whole food is something that is largely retained its nutritional value and has high quality nutrition and doesn't have a bunch of junk added. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
Nutrition, a bunch of junk added. Man, this guy's hilarious listening to him. What a waste of time. I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. He's trying to compare processed food now, animal products with this, that. Meanwhile, he doesn't even eat animal products. Look at his food basket. I don't know. Or maybe just the hot dogs, right? He was trying to hide the hot dogs because he had the mustard in the food basket. He tried to hide that from people, but he made a mistake. He forgot to take the mustard out, and yeah, hot dogs were there. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. And subscribe.